in the middle of a silent, untouched jungle where no man-made sound interrupts the harmony of nature, I challenged myself to cook rice using only what the forest offered. No tools, no pots, just ancient instinct, raw hands, and the whisper of bamboo leaves. The idea was risky, maybe even impossible. But the jungle has its own wisdom, and I was ready to listen. I began searching for the right bamboo thick, mature, green, and fresh. It needed to hold water and heat without splitting or leaking. After wandering deep into the thicket, I finally found a stalk sturdy enough for fire cooking. I carefully cut it open using a sharpened rock I'd shaped the day before. It was rough, but it worked. Every strike connected me more deeply with the forgotten ways of our ancestors. Next came the water. I collected clean rainwater, stored naturally in large leaves, cupped on the forest floor. For the rice, I used a handful from my emergency supplies, just enough for one meal. I poured the water and rice into the hollowed bamboo and sealed the open edge with wet banana leaves to trap the steam. Now came the test fire. I built a small pit using dry sticks, creating a slow, low flame. Carefully, I stood the bamboo over the fire, keeping it balanced by wedging stones around its base. As the heat built slowly, steam began to rise. The smell was earthy smoke, bamboo, and the faint promise of cooked grains. Time passed slowly. I listened to birds calling above, the distant crackle of leaves, and the heartbeat of the forest. Finally, after nearly an hour, I felt the moment was right. I pulled the bamboo off the fire and set it down on a flat stone to rest. Curiosity overcame caution, and I lifted the woven banana leaf plug. A plume of steam escaped, carrying with it the scent of cooked rice. Holding back the urge to dig in immediately, I waited a few moments for the steam to subside and the bamboo to cool slightly. Then I reached inside and brought out a handful of rice. It was fluffy, fragrant, and fully cooked. No burning, no leaking. The bamboo had held its promise. I found a comfortable spot nearby and dug into my meal. The taste was unlike any rice I'd ever eaten before. Smoky, soft, and pure. It was more than food, it was proof that survival isn't always about tools or strength. It's about listening, adapting, respecting nature's rhythm. What I had built wasn't just a rice cooker, it was a tribute to forgotten knowledge. If you felt something deep while watching this ancient process come alive, I invite you to join me on my channel. The forgotten path where nature still teaches, and the old ways are never truly lost. Your journey starts with a single step. After my meal, I started to break down my camp, leaving nothing but a few scattered sticks. I carried the used bamboo and stones back to the riverbank, returning them to the earth from which they came. As I made my way through the underbrush, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had just brushed against a forgotten chord within myself. A primal understanding of how to survive, how to respect nature, and how to honor the rhythm of the wild. But now, I have to get going. My journey is far from over. Before disappearing into the dense green embrace of the jungle, I turned back to the clearing, taking one last look at the remnants of my camp. The fire had died down to embers, and the trees stood guard, their branches reaching towards the sky like ancient gnarled fingers pointing the way. As I ventured deeper into the emerald labyrinth, the sounds of the forest welcomed me. Birds sang from hidden perches, insects hummed their ceaseless tune, and the wind whispered secrets through the leaves. Each step took me farther away from the world I knew, into a realm where nature's laws were the only guide. Survival was a dance as old as time itself. The thought of bamboo as a cooking vessel wasn't new to me. In fact, I had read about prehistoric tribes using bamboo for steaming fish and other foods. But using it as a cooker, well, that was pushing the boundaries of what I thought possible. And cooking rice, a grain that relies so heavily on water and precise cooking methods, seemed like an impossibility. Yet the jungle had provided not only the materials, but also the know-how. It was a lesson in patience, resourcefulness, and above all, in listening to the whispers of the wild. My first step was finding the perfect bamboo. It had to be robust, yet flexible, capable of holding both water and heat without splitting or leaking. After hours of searching, I finally spotted a promising stalk. It was thick, mature, green, and fresh, exactly what I needed. Using a sharpened rock, I cut open the bamboo, my heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. With each strike, I felt a connection to our ancestors, their survival instincts echoing in my own. But there was a problem. The rice was still dry, and water is essential for cooking. As I looked around, my eyes fell on a large leaf that had naturally cupped rainwater, forming a miniature container. I carefully collected the water, marveling at the ingenuity of nature. It was as if the forest itself was helping me, guiding me every step of the way. Now it was time for the most crucial part, cooking the rice. I poured the water into the bamboo, added a handful of rice, then sealed the open end with a banana leaf plug. It felt like a ritual, a communion with the ancient practices of our ancestors. I started a small fire using the dry sticks I had gathered earlier. The flames were low and slow, mirroring the patience required for this primitive cooking method. As the bamboo began to heat, steam started rising, carrying with it the tantalizing aroma of cooking rice. The forest fell silent, as if in anticipation of the moment when the rice would be ready. Time seemed to stand still. I watched, mesmerized, as the steam billowed, knowing that inside the bamboo, a transformation was taking place. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the moment arrived. I removed the bamboo from the fire, letting it rest on a flat stone. With trembling hands, I pulled out the woven leaf plug, releasing a burst of steam. The sight that greeted me was pure magic. The rice was perfectly cooked, fluffy, fragrant, and ready to eat. As I savored the first bite, the flavors exploded in my mouth. It was smoky, soft, and utterly delicious. More than just food, it was a testament to human ingenuity, our ability to adapt, innovate, and survive. The forgotten ways were not lost. They were alive, thriving in the heart of the wilderness. That night, as I lay nestled in my hammock under a canopy of stars, I reflected on the day's events. Cooking rice in a bamboo cooker was just a small step in the grand scheme of things. But it had taught me profound lessons about resourcefulness, patience, and the interconnectedness of all living things. The forest had been my teacher, and the ancient wisdom of the past, my guide. This is more than just a channel. It's a community of learners, explorers, and dreamers who believe in the power of nature and the resilience of the human spirit. Together, we can rediscover the forgotten paths, rekindle the ancient wisdom, and rewrite our story in harmony with the rhythms of the wild. Join me on this journey, and let's explore the untamed beauty that surrounds us. Who knows what wonders we might uncover together? Until next time, stay wild, my friends, and remember, the forgotten ways are never truly lost.